What is up, people? Do a little sound check. Okay, let's fix the connection here. Test these. Testicle spectacles, wallet, cigar. Testicle spectacles, wallet, cigar. All right, let's get sound. Yes, Alpha, say hello to everybody. You're the star of the show tonight. Yes, you're the star of the show. You're gonna have to get out of that chair in a minute, you know that, right? You're not having it? Alpha, you think you can let me sit down today? In my own chair? Is it gonna be okay if I sit in my own chair today? Would you mind? I would greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna have to kick you out in a minute. Unless you either talk to everybody if you want me to come. You can do that for me? Oh, you're not gonna talk to everybody? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, introduce yourself. Tell them what's up. Tell them how you commandeered your daddy's chair. You gonna let me? You're not gonna let me sit down? You think it'd be cool? He did say hi. Appa, you gonna talk to everybody for me? Appa, come on. Can I sit down? Can I sit down, please? No? Really? You're not gonna let me have my own chair? You're gonna have to get up in a second. I'm gonna have to kick you out of my chair. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. You want some treats? Is that the payment plan? I have to give you treats? That's how you do it? God damn, you're so fucking smart. You're fucking boggling my mind. Yeah. Oh my god. If you didn't see it, would you believe it? Right? Oh my god. It's too funny. Oh man. He's so fucking smart though. And people hear me talk to him, they think, oh, he's just, I'm some crazy dude talking to a fucking cat, and they don't realize that the cat understands what I'm saying. I put these pillows over there in hopes that he would sit on them, and he still takes my fucking chair, because that's what he does. Oh, so what's up, people? How you guys doing? So we've learned that YouTube has broken the streams, and that the front-facing cameras are all reversed the last couple of months, and it's not just me. I went and did the research, and people are complaining. So either YouTube completely screwed up, and everybody has this problem, only like the smaller channels, and they're doing it so that, you know, people who are only streaming from their phones can't actually read the chat. Because I also noticed that the chat options aren't there either. Like, you can't see who's in the chat. Like, I can still, like, you know, moderate people by banning, but you can't see the viewer list. It's really stupid. YouTube shit the bed. So that's what happened. How's everybody doing today? I have no idea who's here because I can't see. So if you don't talk, I'm not going to know you're there. But I'm sitting in my oversized fat person chair. This chair that holds, it literally holds 500 pounds. It's like the sturdiest zero gravity chair on the market. And it's like my favorite thing ever. I'm actually like doing the stream this so I can sit in my chair. Because all I've been doing is working out. So, I have a reason to sit in my chair and talk shit. Yesterday we had some like British guy with an IQ of like 60 who came trying to talk shit. That was fun. So this is what happens with YouTube. The first, 10, 15 minutes, they send bots and like random people. It's always different random people. And then those people will leave, and then like my friends will finally show up. Or only people that watch the stream will show up. So, but at least you got a good intro today. Alper introduced me as the host. But he's really the fucking producer of the show, it seems. Is there any way we can actually see who's here? No, it doesn't. I don't know what even that is. I don't even want to touch that. That's the microphone. No. Oh, cool. I put a green screen on and it's broken. YouTube is fucked, man. No, I don't want to highlight anything. I want to get rid of this green screen. What the fuck is going on? Oh, there it is. Okay. Hi, Mr. Cogdila. There it is. Let's see. Oh, how about this? We'll play with some green screen until people come in. Huh. No, we don't want that. Okay, let's get rid of that stuff. Alright, well, I tried. Yeah, it's like, they really screwed this whole thing up. Streaming here is not enjoyable anymore. They make everything broken. And I have like a professional stream rig when I used to do my, game stream and my Facebook streams. But just to hang out with them, I'm not gonna do all that to like talk shit and, rant about kung fu. You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, that's my day. Oh my god. Hey, what's up, man? Yes, he does follow me around like a puppy. He actually thinks he's a dog. He was raised with a dog, and I treated him like a dog. So he thinks he's a dog. Yeah. He listens like a dog. He'll come to me if I call him. It's actually bananas how smart he is. And when people see me talk to the cat, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then they say, "What the hell?" Like he knows what I'm talking about. The difference between dogs and cats is like, cats just don't give a shit. They understand you. They just don't give a fuck. There's a saying. A dog looks at the owner and says, "He feeds me, he pets me, he loves me. He must be a god." And the cat looks at the owner and says, "He feeds me, he pets me, he loves me. I must be a god." And that's basically dogs and cats in a nutshell. Oh, there he is. Are you done being a menace? Yeah, he follows me around like a puppy. He sleeps on my face. Like previously joke, he's my son. It's to the point where some of my girlfriends get jealous. But I always say, like, I take my dog and cat over any human any day. Hey, what's up, Esperanza? Oh, he definitely knows me from a past life. He found, it was the Universal Cat Distribution System. I told the story how I got him. It's a freaky story. Oh my god. Hey, hey. Oh my god, I'm beat. I'm beat. I had to open my mouth and say I'm gonna get back in shape. Like, I'm fucking tired. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. But I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. You know? And it's like, why did I convince myself to do this shit? What was I thinking? I might as well. You know, what else am I gonna do? You know, you gotta scare people. So what's up with you guys? Everything good? What's going on in the world? Yeah, get slim and trim, that's the idea. I actually am pretty like slim and trim, you know, the only thing is that I got sick and I broke my back, so like I got squished and like, you know, I have a fractured rib and muscles were twisted, you know, so I'm actually like a lot more fit than I thought I was. Just that like, I just gotta stretch my back out and like, get back, you know, like, stomach back where it belongs, and I'll be, you know, I'm already in better shape than 99% of the Tai Chi community. You know, which is not saying much. But, you know. But already, like, you know, if I have like up lighting, you'll start seeing I'm already getting it, you know, I'm already getting some definition back and get my muscles back. It's coming in real fast. It all depends on the lighting, you know? See, like, if you have the wrong lighting, you don't see it. But, like, when you get the lighting from on top, like, so if I stand over here, I guess, and the light's on top, you'll see, like, I look like shredded. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in certain lighting, you'll see, like, I'm, like, my veins popping out, like, all these, like, muscles starting to come out. But it really all depends on, like, where you're positioning from the light. So, you know, for second week progress, I'm okay, I'm happy with it, you know. 6 weeks from now, I should freaking be, like, kind of shredded. You know, like, my abs are already coming in. I don't want to get, like, I don't want to go superhero level like I used to, but I'm going to get, like, you know, just enough that people are like, okay. Because, you know, the stupid people, that's, you know, they like what things look like, they don't care about the functionality. There are fucking fires in New Jersey. I bet it's a smart city for the stupid people. I got $50 on it. $50 is a smart city. Oh god. So Saturday's World Tai Chi Day. And I'm gonna go try to find some Tai Chi people and go in the park and go. And do the ninja. You know. I mean, there's no other way, you know? What other way is there? Let me see if I can get this stream to load again, because these are like really long delay. It should only be like 3 to 5 seconds, and it feels like it's forever. But, yeah, I sent the pictures before for you guys. That whole northern corridor is fucked. I would not want to be there. You know? Because even though it's like better now, it's still, you have to deal with the people who are brainwashed zombies and know the poison. You know? It's fucked. Like the only thing for me in New York would be Chinatown, and all the people from Chinatown, they're not even really together anymore. You know, at least from what I saw. I did see one video where a lot of people from the Push page to go to the Mario guy, Mario Napoli, the Push guy went to Taiwan. And I was like, damn it, I wish I was in New York to go play with him. But aside from that, there's nothing there for me anymore. Maybe, you know, I feel like Neo in the Matrix, and he's, you know, like the scene where he's like, that's the place with the good noodles. You know? That's how I look at New York. Like I escaped the Matrix, and I just think about the good noodles. I can't it's even like the little bit of family I have floating around, they don't even feel like they're family. They just feel like these matrix programs, these fucking hologram shells that I had some connection to in some parallel timeline. It's so weird. Oh, it's AC. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You know, it's sad how we lost so many people. They're bots, yeah, they're bots. And like some of them are just evil. Like, if I told my story, like what actually people did, it's so fucking evil. It's so evil. You know? And you gotta look at them like, are you even self-aware, or are you just a fucking agent in the Matrix, you know? It's like anybody who's not unplugged is a fucking Smith. I mean, like, I made, half my family disowned me when I went and became a Buddhist, and, I wanted to go to school instead of, I could have been, a doctor or freaking, some, like, conservative type of person. I was like, I want to go to school for music. Fuck all this shit, I don't want to deal with that stuff. And then I went and became a Buddhist, and, like, between those two things, they're like, fuck you. Go die. But then, when the Trump derangement syndrome happened, I don't even know my family enough to know what their politics are, but I'm pretty damn sure that the few that were watching my Facebook live streams and got the whiff of that stuff, that was it. Now I'm like cut out of the will. I had a couple of inheritance stolen from me. I kicked out of society. I'm like so glad, because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with any of these psychotic people. Fucking weirdos, communists, and God only knows what kind of weird fucking satanic bullshit they're into. It's funny, like, I know a lot of people don't like to be alone, but I'm so happy when I don't have to deal with people. Some people are cool, but most people are just fucking retarded. They're just not very bright, And the ones who have some brains behind them are, they're assholes. I can take them in small doses. There's too many idiots. I wonder what's going on with these wildfires. I didn't even hear about that yet. I love it. But I've always been like that. I was always the popular loner, I was always the one that would be part of the groups or not part of the groups. So I'd be floating around with different groups. I'm part of the group, I'm not part of the group. Question mark what? There's a little delay, so it takes me 5-10 seconds to see the chat. I don't know what you're questioning. Oh. But it's nice that I defeated the shitty camera issue. Everything's in the right direction now. So if I show the people, the idiots, I can show them the fascia. The fascia. Oh, typo? But now the book should be facing the correct way. Why is it so delayed today? It's like a 10-second fucking delay. Thank you. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. What's up, buddy? I'm just waiting for the next, the Sherman resonance. Schumann resonance? Do you mean the Schumann resonance? The Sherman resonance. Oh god. Look. The myofascia. Myofascia. Damien's not qualified to talk about the fascia. Oh god. See, this is what I ripped. This is what I hurt myself. This is like this whole line of my quadratus laborum, my iliacus is all fucked up, and then my psoas is fucking torn, and my glute medius is fucking shoved up in my hip bone, and I'm all twisted. My deep frontal line is broken. This one's broken. Oh god. These people. But, you know, it's funny, this one kid, you know, he's going talking shit on Charlie's page, and I said, hey, if anybody wants to debate me on the live stream, let me know. And I haven't heard anything since. I haven't heard a goddamn thing. So they come, they want to fight me, I said, okay, let's fight. They don't want to fight me. They don't want to. I think they might have run out of ammo, waiting to see what their next gimmick attack going to be. What's the next attack from the fucking pygmies is going to be? What's the next evil thing they're going to try to do? So I can be entertained. You know, I'm getting bored. Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm grabbing some tea. Oh, top of the bitch. There we go. If you haven't hit the like button just to piss YouTube off, because I don't know why. Like, people don't know how social media works, and they come watch the stream, they're supposed to be my friends, and they don't hit the fucking like button. It's like, you're not lazy to use your phone. Oh. This is really annoying me that it's so delayed. It's like fucking 15 seconds behind. Huh. I think it caught up. So weird. Okay, now it's... So anything good going on with you guys? Up, you want to say hi again? You come up? Up, you want to come up? You come up? You want to come up? You can. Come on. He's looking for something. I got it from the Russians. You know? It disinfects my tooth from my asshole. I'm waiting for this cracked tooth to pop out. It's like literally cracked in half, and it's like wiggling, and it's waiting for it to pop. So the Russian dentist told me this. Like, they take vodka and they just put it on a freaking cotton swab and shove it in there, and they make you gargle it like vodka and whiskey. So I got this actually from the Latvian. It's, you know, it's vodka and black tea. That's sort of, yeah, it sucks. But I'm not a little bitch, so I get up and I go train anyway. That's why I'm talking funny. This dentist fucking almost killed me here a couple of years ago, and I've just been fighting it ever since. Like right after COVID, and you're just looking for money, and you just like, I was tortured. Like like, it was really bad. I was gonna sue the guy. I had nerve damage and everything. And then I had to go to a neurologist, and like I couldn't get the neurologist. It was like, you know, it was a whole shit show. Like, the fucking surgeon said he wouldn't treat me. The second day I went out to the lawyer, said they wouldn't treat me, go to a fucking surgeon. The surgeon said he can't treat me, I have to go to a neurologist. Right? And I'm supposed to like sue the guy, and I got really fucking sick from heating the medication, and I guess I got really sick. So that's why I was only coming online, you know, and doing like one video like a month or two, because I was not doing good. But I'm not a punk bitch, so I gotta keep doing, you know, gotta keep going. But I mean, on the Facebook live stream during COVID, I fucking literally took pliers and ripped the tooth out on the fucking stream, like just right out. So I'm hoping this one's cracks clean. I'm just gonna fucking pack it until I can find somebody that's not gonna kill me. But yeah, whiskey and black tea. It's the Latvian special. I used to drink that every Friday night with the boys. I never like. I don't really drink out. Like I don't drink outside ever. Like if I go outside, you'll see me. I'll have like one beer. That's like a big deal. And I'll have that one beer the whole fucking night. You know what I mean? I don't drink outside. I'll go for like months and months and months and I won't drink at all. And then like on a holiday I'll get like, some bottles, something like that. But if I'm fucked up like this at night, I'm gonna drink so I can go to sleep. You know? Because otherwise I won't fucking sleep at all. I'll be getting up. So, you guys get to enjoy my banter until this tooth comes out. Oh man. So that's my story. I love this fucking chair. I'm just showing off my pit-ass chair. But I don't like this rear-facing camera. I think the front-facing camera is actually better. You know, it's weird. But you get to see the Kung Fu studio. You know, this is where I torture myself. All my myofascial compression techniques that I'm certified to teach. Yeah. I actually have a certification for myofascial compression techniques. And these fucking guys were saying that I don't know anything about the fascia, how the fascia works. I got that certification 14 years ago. Fucking kidding me, these fucking guys. I fucking can't. Ugh. And it looks like I'm drinking a lot more than I do on the stream, but if you notice, I only fill the shot glass halfway or a quarter of the way and I sip it. So like by the end of the stream, I probably had like the equivalent of like 2 normal shots. Yeah, so I can never actually fill the whole thing. I just make it look like I'm a lush. But that's why I keep refilling it, because I don't actually fill it all the way up. Hey Damien, I used to take white cream back in the day. You did white cream? Right? Yeah, so did I. And I did white cream with this fucking guy in Chinatown. He did barely spoke English. I don't even know which white cream it was. And I don't remember the form, but I adapted my Tai Chi form to that in water style and Wing Chun and put it all together. And it was pretty cool. I like the white cream stuff. I don't remember which one it was because no one ever told me in English. But for girls and motorcycles with my attention, yeah, it's funny, like, people have this thing, like, if you have motorcycles with girls, and it's like, motorcycles are cool when you have, you already got the girl, and it's like, oh, you have a motorcycle, that's cool, but motorcycles don't get girls. That's not how it works. But if you get the girl and you have a motorcycle, it's like, it's a plus. Oh, cool. Yeah, I actually heard there's a lot of good white crane guys. Well, like 20 years ago, I heard there's like a couple of good guys in white crane in Boston. But what do you want to know about the Wuji? So like the basic level for like the entry level people, because like there's all this philosophy and stuff like that. But for the most part, you can think of like Wuji, like Ji is force, and Wu is like still. Or like stillness, I guess would be the best way to describe it. It's like when the energy is in in a static, still state, right? And it's like the moment before you're about to sneeze, there's like this gap in your breath, and everything in like time stops. And then like if you like really like sped up your brain and you're into bullet time, and you And there's like this moment, and if you froze that moment, or the moment before you recognize you have to sneeze, and you put that moment and you expanded it forever, that's the Wuji. It's, but I'm just being funny, but you can think of it like the Wuji is when, I say like a still pond, and you see a body of water like a pond, and there's no wind, there's no air, there's nothing, it's just a pond and it's still. I have a photo I had on Instagram, I'll post it, where I was doing a motorcycle ride, and we're passing this pond, and it was perfectly still, and it looked like a mirror. And I got a shot of this pond and the trees and this like water thing, and you can see the reflection perfectly in the pond. And I'll post it in the community tab for you when I can. The thing is, YouTube's fucking broken. Like, you can't go through your folders when you post. I have to scroll down for hours to find a fucking photo. Maybe I'll post it in Discord. I don't know if you're in the Discord. But that's how I look at the Wuji. It's mentally and physically, you're a pond that's like so still, it reflects everything and everything is nothing. There's no movement. And Taiji is when, you're in a river, and the river's moving, or an ocean, and there's waves. And at least the Yang style, or the Yang style derivatives, because the Cheng style is a little different. There's correlation with the Cheng style view and the Yang style and the branches of the Yang style. But if you look at like water style Taiji, right, it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because most people don't even know that water style exists. Like most people these fucking paper tiger like Tai Chi master fucking professor wannabes on YouTube that they think they know everything. They don't even know water styles exist, and they see it. It's like, oh, it's not real Tai Chi. Like, but if you watch any like the variations of water style, you understand what I mean? Because it's so pronounced about how you have the wave, and like Cheng style forms, you can see it if you know what you're looking for, but it's a little harder. But the water style is so obvious because they really they show you the wave. They show you the coil and the wave so pronounced. It's like it's so there. So when you get the philosophy, like even mentioning like my teacher says the same thing. Like you want to think that you're in a pool, and like you're swimming on dry land, right? Because the air and water are the same thing. The air is just water farther apart. You know what I mean? That's why if you move your hand really fast, you feel the air. Well, if you went into a pool and you move your hand really fast, you feel the same thing. It's just thicker. So when you do the Tai Chi form, like in the Yang style, you want to think that you're in like this river or like an ocean, and you're creating the wave. So that would be Tai Chi when there's energy and motion. Like like how do you want to say it in fucking English? It's because the thing with the Chinese language is very weird like that because it's a pictorial language and there is no direct translation for words, and then some words have multiple meanings and connotations. Because there's like the literal meaning and then like this, the cultural meaning, and there's a subtext of the meaning and what it means, and so like people say grand, the grand ultimate, but it generally just means big or large or like superior. It's not like grand ultimate, it just means like big, and G is like a kinetic force. So in my opinion, when you break it down to something that English people should understand what real Tai Chi Chuan should be, it's just big force fist. And the force is just a water wave, right? Because everything is, fluid, even though the air has a magnetic fluid medium used to call ether. So Tai Chi is moving the fluid, and it's moving in waves, and Wuji is when there's no wave. When everything's just chill. And that's the best description. It's a long-winded description, but that's the best way I can describe it. So when you start the form, and you get into like your opening position, the idea is that you go into the Mushin state, Like in Japanese they say Mushin, like the no mind place, right? And it's I don't know how to explain it if you've never been there, but like, people like say I get cold or expressions like dead looking, but like something in your brain switches and everything goes flat. You ever seen the movie Equilibrium? with what's this guy's name? Christian Bale, the Psycho, American Psycho guy. There's a movie called Equilibrium, and when he goes into like his program fucking ninja mode, you hear like the beep, and then he like his brain goes flat. That's what it feels like. That's the best way I can describe it. Like your brain goes flat, and like you're watching the processes happen. You know, but it's like this very strange. So mentally, the Wuji is like, from my perspective, is similar to a Japanese Mushin state, where like you go to the no mind place before you start. Like you empty the cup, you know, you put the monkey mind in the fucking cage and give it a banana, and then from there you have no energy. And in the form, like I talk about that, like there's two ways to start energy moving. Right, you can either start energy moving from an action or an inaction, and it sounds kind of weird, but so you move your hand and you're here, right now there's no space, everything's like flat line, and you have to move. How do you get started, right? So let's say I want to do water off right or water off left, right? I need to get to this position. There's actually two ways to get to that position. I can do it with an action, or I can do it actively or passively. So actively, I like use my interior delt, and I lift my fucking muscle up, and I lift the hand. The other way would be a counter lever by dropping my elbow. Right? So in a static state, we can lift with action to create Tai-Chi motion, or we can passively counter lever by dropping the thing that's holding my elbow up, which will create this wheel also. And that's like a really like gold nugget for people who do the forms. Like if you understand what I just said, it's like a fucking super gold nugget, is trying to start motion from a release rather than an active thing. And that's the whole premise, is going from no motion to motion, but passively. That's the whole secret of Tai Chi, going from the Wuji posture to the Chai Chi form, is can you get motion from a passive action and continue that passive action to catch a wave, like you're playing, like you're surfing, or you're juggling water in cups. And that's what the form should feel like. And if people understand that, that's like the fucking $1 million tip. What do I know? I don't know about the fascia. I don't know how fascia works, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. I'm just a crazy guy in the internet with a bad haircut. I wouldn't listen to me. I mean, if you're really interested, you can go to Tai Chi United. I think we have 8 of my workshops up already. But if you go through my workshops, like, all the shit that people take 10, 20 years to learn, I explain it in 10 hours. Like literally in 10 hours, you'll learn 20 years of shit that you're not supposed to know. People fucking spend 20 years trying to figure out. And you can actually just, start training for real. And the stuff applies to like Crane, Jing-Yi, Bagua, Tai-Chi, fucking Wing Chun, Fortune Cookie, General Tao Chicken. It's universal stuff. So, but I don't really want to promote it because I don't really want these, I don't want these people to get it, to deserve it. They are too arrogant, lack discipline. Their kung fu was weak. We taught them wrong on purpose, as a joke. Oh man. I hope that explanation made sense to you. I think I'm getting hungry. I don't know. I don't really want to eat those snacks. I gotta stay skinny. just one. Just a little snack. Oh. Yeah, so now I'm gonna start reviewing all this cool kung fu stuff. Oh, I hope Tony shows up. Because it's funny, remember we were having this kind of, I don't know if he was here, he kept mentioning this guy, Tom Bizio. I'm like, I know that name. I don't know why I know that fucking name. I can't remember his, because I thought he was talking about somebody from New York. And I'm like, who the fuck is Tom Bizio? Why do I know his name? Why do I know his name? Who's this guy? And now I know why I know his name. I'm like, how do I know this guy? I'm like, Tony, I know this guy's name, I just don't know who he is. Like, like, I can't remember his, like, I'm like, who's this fucking guy? Like, what are you talking about? Who's this guy? Like, I know his name, though. Why do I know his name? I can't remember. Who's this guy? I had his fucking book sitting in front of me the whole time while we're talking with the guy. that was a good one. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, oh, duh, maybe that's why I know his name. I had his book for fucking 20 years or some shit. That book was gifted to me by somebody. I don't even know who gifted it to me. I'm lucky I remember his name. I'm lucky I remember where I am half the time. So any other interesting questions while you guys got me? I was, going to be in the studio playing freaking, I just got the drum set up, I'm gonna change the springs in the fucking kick pedal and try to get my skills back. So I was gonna go practice, but I said, I defeated the YouTube camera, let me go say hi, because everyone's been hanging out. So I think I'll come by, and I'll do the live stream thing, chill out for a bit. I know when spring and summer happen, I'm not gonna have as much time, because we're planning like workshops and fucking ninja stuff and like retreat teaching some shit, like Tai Chi field trips or some shit, I don't fucking know. So I don't know what's gonna happen, so. I feel like, Shirley joking about this, like, it is better? Awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got more of the soundproof, the sound treatment up finally, and it's getting there. I mean, I could do a little more. Like if I put some on the ceiling, or if I got like mats on the floor, it'd be really good. When I do the classes, it's actually better from that angle. But from this angle, it's a little weird still, but it's better. But the camera angle, it's fucking stupid. It's like, what am I gonna do? Because YouTube decided that you can't have a front-facing camera anymore. So, what am I gonna do? But yeah, I got a good deal on this phone last year. I was gonna put it up in the studio in the last house, but my gut was like, nah, save it for the next place. And then here we are. I was gonna take out the laser level to do this. I was like, your OCD, you have to like chill out. So I did it with the staff and the measuring tape. I'm like, that'll be close enough. You don't need a laser level. Chill out, dude. So it's close enough. But also, like, some of them, I didn't want it to be perfect. No, you're not out of place. I remember 7 of them. Actually, when I was a kid, I used to have this recurring dream of me being in Vietnam, and I was a sergeant in Vietnam. And crazy story about that. So I used to have this, recurring dream. I was like before I even went to kindergarten, and it was going up until I was like, I remember until junior high school. and it was, I'm not gonna like, talk about the dream too much, but basically like, we're a squad, and we're like at this like, I couldn't tell if it was a rooftop or some kind of like enclosure, but like this helicopter came up and we blew it up and it blew everybody up. It was like over and over again. This little fucking, little fucking black fucking helicopter came up and fucking, it could have been black, could have been dark. It was like the way the shadowing was, and I just remember lying on this like, because when you're a kid you don't know what these things are and you have no reference in language, but it's the closest thing I can remember was like being in like an apartment building in New York City and you have like the ledge, you're on the tar roof and you have like that ledge. You remember in the 80s people used to go on their roofs and sunbathe in those apartments, and you'd have like this little like brick ledge, but it wasn't made of bricks, it was like sandbags or something, and I can never really tell what it was. It was like this fucking helicopter was like right there, and then dude shot a fucking bazooka or something. And I just remember smacking somebody in the head, and he shot this thing, and then this fucking helicopter came up and just blew up in the face. But here's the crazy part of this story. So, my master, I was going with him to the DAV to get his settlement, and I was going with him to fight the court cases all the time, and there's a museum in Brooklyn, and they have a book with all the dead soldiers from fucking Vietnam, and I had this dream, I had it like 5 times. I'd be walking to this museum, and there's this book laid out, and there's like a spotlight on the book, and I go up to this book, and I'm like, yeah, but what is that? And he goes, oh, that's all, like, oh, this is the dead soldiers from Vietnam, right? So I'm like, okay, and I walk away, and I go, wait a second, would it be fucking crazy if my name's in that book? And in the dream, I go and I look in the book, and exactly 10 years before I was born, on the day, is the day that the guy died with the same name as me, and he's from New York. So, a year later, I go with my master, and I see, and this happens in real life. I swear on my grandmother's life, it happens in real life, okay? And showed him. And I remember it was there twice, and the third time we went there, it was gone. The book was changed. So, I know that sounds crazy, but it actually happened. And it was exactly 10 years to the day on my birthday, the same name. So that was one. Another one, I was a monk in a monastery with my Qigong master. That was another one. And then there's a couple other ones I'm not going to talk about on the stream, but I don't really talk about these things because most people, they're not into this level of spirituality. They don't believe this kind of stuff, and it's just not worth arguing with them. You know what I mean? Because if people only understand things to their own experience level, but I know what I saw. I know also like there's things, for instance, like you don't retain your memories clearly. Like you get like flashes, but you retain qualities and skill sets. Like the fact that I was able to teach myself how to play guitar in 7 months and get a scholarship to a music school. I mean, yeah, I'm more like, in the 80s I was gifted and talented, now I'm autistic and neurodivergent because, we're all retarded now. But even still, like, it's one thing to just be, I'm a genius or whatever, but, there had to be something else that's carried over, you know what I mean? There's things that you carry over, like, I was way too good at martial arts at a young age for it to just be like, genetic, you know what I mean? Like there was some things that were it just clicks like, oh, I know how to do that. And it just, or even me taking up to like because another thing also, it's like the synchronicity of how things came into my life. It's more than just, oh, you're smart and you studied hard. Like people said, like, it's more than that. But people believe what they want to believe. And my family story is really fucking bizarre. And some of them are freaked out by it, like, And you have people that, like, your human family is not really your real family, which is hard for people to accept. Especially if we try to make them a real family, it's like, it's an illusion. You know what I mean? They're a vehicle for you entry into the matrix. Friends of the family you choose, and family of the friends, and family of the friends you can't get rid of. That's what it is. It's a weird thing. But yeah, I remember 7 of my lives. Because, some of us agreed to stay in this fucking shithole until everybody gets out. It's great. You have to wait until this fucking loop of this shitty program replayed itself until all the different variations have played out, and then you hit the singularity and it all goes poof. Yeah, but the past life thing is interesting, and there's so many people that and it's crazy because all these like atheist, science-based people, they don't realize that there's science behind all this stuff, but most people who think that they're so smart and they're like, oh, I trust the science and I'm smart because I was educated by this thing and that thing. They don't really know anything. They just regurgitate some shit somebody else said. They have no thought of their own. They stand on something they have no experience on. And then, if you make them question that reality and it goes against what they're fucking told, they'll defend it with their life. Because, and this is one of the first lessons in, the occult Buddhism I was taught, is the I am consciousness thing, and that the ego mind is separate from you. You think you're the fucking caricature of yourself. So most people, when you give them something contrary to their belief system, it goes against the subconscious program that they think, I am the law. But it goes against the subconscious program that says, oh, I am a painter. I am a Yang style Tai Chi guy. I am a Chen style Tai Chi guy. I am a white crane guy. I am a doctor. I am a cop. I am a jerk off, whatever it is. And then if you give them a point of a worldview, or like, I'm a fucking scientist, I'm a physicist, and I'm a this, and I'm a that. There's a conscious, the program of the mind doesn't understand, perceived from reality. So when you contradict their I am framework, the subconscious thinks it's a physical attack and they're dying. And that's what a lot of the problems with a lot of people like with me here is like, it's not that I did anything to them. It's that my existence being so contrary to their existence, they say, well, if he's right and I'm wrong, he's attacking me as and I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? And subconsciously, you gotta think like hypnosis and how like hypnotherapy works. So when you're trying to like explain these things to them, they can't take it, And then when you understand that the ego mind, the neurolinguistic program, right, it's all computer code. Most people don't realize that their whole entire being, their name and their identity and everything behind it is this computer code. The lexicon of words can actually, and this is why the Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. If you give God a name, like Ahia, you've actually made it smaller. And I say God because you don't have a word in English for you guys to understand what I really mean. Well, the prime creator force thing, if you gave it a real name, you put it in this confinement that's not the thing. So when you grow up as a Jewish person or a Muslim person, the lexicon of words actually traps your mind. So you can't see certain things in a certain way. Or if you speak English versus learning Spanish first, you're thinking in reverse. If you learn English versus Spanish or Chinese, you're actually thinking reverse. And your entire way of looking at the world is completely backwards. Using an attitude before the fucking noun. You know what I mean? So when you understand how the program works, it's very difficult to get through people. with things that are outside of their understanding, because the driver, the spirit consciousness isn't even driving the fucking car, right? It's on autopilot. They don't even know what they are. It's a memory war. They have no idea what they are, what their body is, where they are, what's going on. The whole thing, this entire system is a fucking mind-fuck prison shithole. And that's why they say anybody who's not unplugged from the Matrix is still a fucking agent. They don't understand. It's too much for their little brains. So then you try to explain things to them, and if it doesn't fit in the expectations of what spirituality should be, you're not a Buddhist because you tell people to go fuck themselves. You can't be spiritual. You do this and you do that. That's why I tell this story about I think it was Buddha Dharma, one of the monks. I told this story before. There was this famous monk sitting in his cave doing his meditation with all these wannabe monks, wanted to study with him. And they go to the cave, he's always throwing rocks, get the fuck out of here. And then one guy, he's sitting there for months, and he's about to starve to death. And so the monk feels bad for him. He says, all right, you know what, come inside, I'll feed you. So he's making rice porridge, in a fucking bowl, And he only has one bowl. So he's sitting in this fucking dark ass dusty cave, spirals everywhere, and he's making his fucking little rice, the only thing he has is fucking, goblet and stone fire or some shit. He's making his little fucking, thing. There's one little bowl, and he's gonna feed this guy, and he doesn't have another bowl. So he looks around the cave, and he picks up a human skull, and he blows up the skull, and he cleans it up, and he fucking pours the rice in it, and gives it to the guy, and the guy freaks out, and fucking goes, ah! What are you doing? Are you crazy? And he fucking takes it, and he fucking throws it at him, and he kicks him out of the cave. He curses him out and says, you're never gonna have any understanding. You cannot train with me. You're a fucking punk bitch. So when you have this world of illusion and pretentiousness, and it has to be this way, or you're not holy, it's fucking holy socks are holier than most of you people. Just because you wear a fucking red robe and shave your head doesn't mean you're anybody. How many of these fucking jerk-offs go to fucking Shaolin, shave their head, and jerk off with fucking Kung Fu, and come back and jerk-offs? There's a billion Buddhists in the world, and there's no enlightened sages. Just because you do all the things on the outside doesn't mean you did the thing on the inside. And they don't get it. And their IQs are too low. You remember in our time, real autism, Down syndrome wasn't a thing. One in fucking, what is it now? 1 in 30 kids are autistic now, with actually Down syndrome or deficiencies. My master said this, the Dharma ending age is coming to prepare the people. They want to make people stupid in 12 years, short like dog. They want to make you stupid and die early. That was what he told me in 2000. The Dharma ending age. We have to prepare the world for the Dharma ending age. Imagine that shit. Being, inducted into some secret society of fucking warrior Buddhist monks and sent out on your own to infiltrate places, to some fucking Kung Fu movie. You have to be this fucking superhero undercover and fucking save the world from the Dharma ending age and the demons and shit. With no instructional manual. You go to the monk in the secret fucking room, and they ring the bell, and all fucking hell breaks loose, and everyone's fucking going crazy, and you're we're sorry, we didn't know. They go, great, thanks. Tony, this is the guy I wanted to see. Remember how I told you yesterday you were talking about Tom Vizio? And I was I know this guy's name, and I don't remember why I know this guy's name. This is why I didn't know. I know this guy's name. Now you know why I know the guy's name. So, now you know. I have no idea who gave me that book. Somebody from Chinatown gave me the book. I don't know who gave it to me. It was guy. I don't even fucking remember. I've had that book forever. I read it once and I was like, eh. I also, like, because my whole thing was practical application in like martial arts and practical, and I find that like a lot of like the hardcore like acupuncture and Chinese medicine stuff, it was just completely useless to me in what I needed to do as a teacher. You know what I mean? Like it's like out of my purview. Like it's like it's cool to know, but like I don't need that stuff. Like you know what I mean? It's like it's too much. You know, it won't help me break a brick. It doesn't help me do any bone setting. So that's what I was doing, like Qigong and like the bone setting stuff, and like this, acupressure stuff. That's what I was training with. So I didn't need to know like elements this and on this time of the day your anal chi is in your fucking armpit. Like touch your fucking ear and then touch your pinky toe. You're getting an erection at 4:30. Like I don't need to know that stuff. I need to be able to see the chi and see where it is, and I see that okay, that's bad, and then I have to move it. All the other stuff is too much for me. Appa, what do you want? Appa, what's your problem? What? You want to come up? Come up. Come up. You're going to look at me stupid or you come up? Come on. Come up. You want my whiskey? I don't think you want that. Come up. What? Come on. You want to come up or not? You're just standing there like a fucking creep. You still look at me now? Come up. He wants me to get out of the chair. He wants the chair for himself. Fuck face. I'm not giving you my chair. Fuck off. Yes, kitty friend. Don't just look at me like that. You coming up or not? Okay, fine. He's a fucking character. He wants the chair for himself, is what he wants. He's not getting it. But lucky for him, I'm getting another one. So by next week, I'll have 2 chairs, and I'll do a stream where he's sitting in one chair, and we'll do an interview with Appa. Because I don't want to get a couch. Like I have like my small couch that has like a bed in it in the it's going to be the study room, and this is just the training room. So this chair is good enough for me. I don't need a fucking couch. I think couch is fucking stupid. I can't stand it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. It's just like, if I was saying like feng shui, the feng shui is off with the couch. It like just sucks your energy, it like kills a fucking part of the room and then just draws the energy in and like you sit in it and it takes all your chi and like fucking makes you like slow and lazy. You can actually see the chi, by the way. But, it's not very hard to do. When you know how to look for it, you can see it. But I don't want to teach it here until, they release the freaking, that's where these idiots can steal more of my secret shit and then claim it as their own and not give me credit. I'll show you a cool trick There's a couple of ways you can do it. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You know, you can put your hand, you know, but you gotta remember also it takes energy, like so you have to make sure that you're okay. But you can take your hand like this and just like look at your fingers, and there's like stuff like this, and then move them so closely together, and just like stare at your fingers, and then you'll start to see around the edges. That's the first little trick, and you'll see it. The problem is a lot of people they're so sick, like you're supposed to have like an energy and then like a shell around it. Most people, their energy is like gray and their shell is gone. So a lot of people are sick, and if you're eating meat, your cheese is gonna be gray. You'll see it. Like people who eat meat, their lips are always gray. The nails aren't pink. You can see it in the body. So physiologically, you can see the effect on people's bodies if they eat meat. If they're not, if they don't do meditation and things like that, because the lips will be gray, the skin will have a gray tint to it, the fingernails won't be pink. But if you do that, and you just stare at your fingers and then make them smaller, and then stare at your fingers, you'll see it. That's the first way. Another trick, you can put your hand on the wall, and then I'll show you guys in the stream, but like you can check on the wall, and there's ways to make it expand and contract. But because when I was taught, like you have to do it in a way to make sure that the person sees it. You have to test you in a way that you don't know you're being tested, so that you know you're not bullshitting. And another thing is like, you have your five senses, right? So you can actually sense the chi, the same way with your five senses. You can see it, you can smell it, you can hear it, you can feel it. So like sometimes like, you used to do like the qigong or like qi, whatever you guys would call it. And so you can sense it like when the energy's blocked, and it's like you say, oh, you can see it. It's like innate. You just know. You can't explain it any way, you just know. And some people it's easier if you don't learn how to do that, some people have to work on it, but it really depends on the state of your body and your brain. Like if you've eaten shit your whole life and your mind's running around like fucking crazy, you don't have the bandwidth. So for the most people, they've eaten poison, they don't work out, they don't train, their mind is all over the fucking place. So the computer system, the processing is so all over the place, they can't get there. You know what I mean? You have to first like reset the system, like make sure there's clean fuel in it, like the static energy in your brain isn't fucked up, and that you can focus on one thing at a time, And for a lot of people who didn't train, it's very difficult. And then, there's also like I talked about like the lexicon of words and how people can program. If you've been trained your whole life to think it's bullshit, you have a big block to break through. Like people who think like the psychic stuff is bullshit, I'm like, look up remote viewing and look at all the, the people who are doing it now. So it's a mainstream thing now. So now I don't have to hide it. It's all over the place. Like I don't do remote viewing, like, with the military protocol that they use. But the point is that it proves the science behind what's happening. You know what I mean? And it's not like, it's science, fact-based shit. It's not like random stuff. But, people who aren't in the know, they're like, bullshit. So, but yeah, try this right now. Just go like this with your hand, bring your hand to your eye and watch like this, and then stare at your fingers, and just keep staring at your fingers for like, like a minute, and then slowly bring your fingers together. And then you'll start to see something. And that's like the first way to see. And once you break that first little barrier, you start to see it, because it's everywhere. And like the thing is, like some people you can see, like they have like a big aura. Some people have like a shell. Like the halo thing is an actual thing, but it's not a circle this way. It's a circle this way. So if you look, you'll see there's a barrier around the person's head and shoulders, like a little barrier. It could be like an inch to 5 inches big, depending on like, the state the person's in. You don't have to, but it may help you. It's just one of those tricks that floats around on the internet, and it's a good little trick to start people off because everybody can do it. That's not how I learned it. I always saw it. You know what I mean? And then that's what got my master to take me under his wing, because like I asked him, like, he's like, why are you asking me this? Like, I don't know, but I know you know. And he's like, oh. And that's how that started. But it gets interesting. Like some of the monks will like literally glow. Like they got the glow. The glow is real. Like like Last Dragon, it's just real. Like I can tell you, I've seen the glow. I've seen the glowing monks. Okay, it sounds crazy. I fucking swear on my life, I've seen it. But I can't. I am afraid to tell you the real story at this time because it's too crazy to believe, and people already think I'm fucking batshit. But I've seen some crazy things. Well, just look at it. There you go, Dan. The air gets thicker, right? So if you can see the air getting thicker, then you can use, when you want to trigger that muscle in your eye, you can start to see it everywhere. And you can see it around, you'll see it. No, that's what I'm talking about, the next kind of words. That's what I'm talking about. Because of your upbringing and the way that your logical things programmed with the words, that's the problem. So that's why it's very difficult to teach Muslims and Jews these type of things, because the lexicon, the words, it's neuralistic programming. You have to break through too many codes. It's hard for them to learn this stuff if they're like indoctrinated into those languages. Whereas the Chinese, because the pictorial language and the connotation of words is different, it's easier for them. Now you're starting to see what I'm talking about. And that's the first baby level. That's the baby level. And then once you see that, you can see it, and you'll see it everywhere once you learn how to look for it. But when you first start doing it, it takes energy, so you'll feel like you can feel tired after. It's like after you're doing it for like a long time, like like you start doing it for like 20 minutes to an hour, you'll get like tired. It takes energy because you're just a machine. But I'm sure if like once you know how to do that, you'll go back to some of my videos and you'll see some weird stuff. In certain videos, you'll see it when you know how to look for it. But again, how clean is your machine and how focused is your mind, and how, like, why do my eyes hurt? Because you've never used them before. So when you first do it, it's like a muscle, like wiggling your ears. Like, can you wiggle your ear? Everybody can wiggle their ear. There's never tried, and you have to sit there and figure out how to wiggle your ear. Or here's a quick one: move one finger at a time, and just move your pinky finger alone. This is going to trick you out. Just do that. And you're going to notice you can't move your pinky finger on its own unless you're like a freak like me, right? You have to train it. It's something you have to train. It's possible, right? I never train the right one, but I can still kind of do it. The left one's easier for me. Point being is, there's things you can do with your body that people will be like, oh, it's impossible, until you do it. But that's how you see the cheat, And then like, if you put your hand up on a wall and you know how to like make a chi ball, you should be able to project the chi ball through your hand on the wall, and the contrast, you'll be able to see it. Like even on the video, if I have my hand up against the white wall, now that you know what I'm talking about, see if I can catch up to the video. Where's the white wall? This way? the video's delayed, so I'm trying to figure out. Okay. So now do the same thing with my hand on the video and watch. And you'll start to see it in the video also. If you got the trick, you'll see it. And you should see it like do this. And it's even like weirder is you can actually throw it at people, even across the video. And that sounds weird. It sounds weird. Yes. Now, why would me waving my hand change the entire atmosphere around the room? It wasn't just how did the video just randomly change lighting? Okay? I guess I'm trying to explain to you. That's why I don't play with this stuff, because if I show people like the real stuff, they freak the fuck out. They lose their mind. And you know, I'm just some asshole with bad attitude and a bad haircut, so what do I know? Plausible deniability. But you saw the pulse, right? But yeah, that's what you should see. And then, you know, there's also different colors of the pulses and there's things like that, and it tells about what like kind of energy you have. You know, purple, gold, white, red, blue, green, and they all have a different frequency and thing that they do. Right. Because it's a programming code, because the avatar system, your ego minds, that they talk about, you gotta kill your ego. Don't try to kill your fucking ego. Okay? Because if you actually pay attention, it says don't kill. Right? So every religion agrees on one thing: don't kill, unless you have no fucking choice. No, well, you see what I mean? Either you're tripping or a technical coincidence happened, right? Where the whole fucking room just decided to light up, right? Like all the objects in the room just decided to fucking flicker, right? Yeah, a coincidence. It's a coincidence. I just got a haircut today, and when you just get your hair like this short, like it sticks your hair to the fucking shades part, and it's fucking annoying. Word to Big Bird, ass monkey. That's exactly what it is. Right? That, you know, like a light pulse, the air around it pulsed. And the thing is also, like, again, because of the lexicon of words, it's tricky to describe this stuff because it's subjective. You know, like, if I was to say, for instance, this is the color blue, is it really blue to you? Like, how do you know that when I say blue, I don't mean red? And now, in my world, blue is red. How do you know? There's no way to tell. There's no way to confirm how you see reality compared to how I see reality. But what you can confirm is you saw something. How you describe it is different. You know, right, but most people can't even comprehend because their IQ is too low and their logic is too skewed from language that the agreement is not objective, it's subjective. Exactly. Exactly. But even the blockchain ledger thing is position versus perspective, because even when you have the same copy of the ledger, you're all getting it at a time delay, right? It's a slight delay. That's how, like, on the Tor network, for instance, everyone thinks it's so safe on Tor, but, like, take care, Tony. Have a good night, man. So, like, on the Tor network, like, if you want to, like, when the state level motherfuckers want to catch you, what they do is they time the server hops. They'll look at the fucking pixels of your, like, how big the pixels of your screen are compared to somebody else's. All these little fucking things you wouldn't think that are, like, just slightly different. You know what I mean? And they'll time the delay of the server hops. Okay? Like, there's always a slight difference of perspective and position. So, it's very difficult to qualify that. It's hard to answer that question, Clement, because it's your first eye, not your third eye, number one. It's not your third eye, it's your first eye. And if you don't understand that, it becomes difficult. It's your first eye. So first you have to reconcile the fact that you don't have a third eye, you have a first eye. And this is 2 and 3. So first get that concept in your head, that it's your first eye. And I don't believe so. I think that, again, the language and lexicon programs you to think in reverse and to put these limitations on the system, because the words program the subconscious mind. You have your mind, your body, your computer network, your computer system, and you're an observer inside the system. So if you don't understand how the system works, you think you're the system. That's the problem. That's what Buddhism is teaching you, that you're not the system. Like, my name isn't Damien or whatever the fuck it is. Like, this body isn't me. None of this is me. I'm something that's, like, inside this thing. So when you understand that and you understand the lexicon thing, you start to deprogram yourself. But without the deprogramming, it's hard. Yeah, you can talk about, like, the thalamus and, like, the parts of your brain that, like, do the thing, and they're calcified, your pineal gland's calcified, and this thing. I don't believe that bullshit. I think that's just more programming. I do believe, though, like, yes, there is an amount of, like, poisoning and stuff that makes your machine not work right, but I don't believe it's that much of a hindrance. I think it's more about changing the code, like reprogramming and changing some lines of code in language and introducing new code into your subconscious and reprogramming yourself, similarly neural program. You have to change some lines of code in your subconscious and superconsciousness so that you can interface with the machine better. Sometimes also, like, giving proof to the subconscious, like I showed you the little finger thing. Okay, that's a step. Then you see me freaking predict the future 500 times. Oh, well, if he can do it, maybe I can do some of that too. And then your subconscious starts saying, oh, wait a second, some of the code I learned is wrong. We have to fucking debug that. I think that's more important than worrying about your third eye and sitting in some fucking posture, because, yeah, that helps, but that's the problem. That's why nobody gets it, because everybody's so worried about doing it right. My master told me a story about this lady. She used to sell beans in a village, and she would sell the beans every day. But when she would sell the beans, she would do the chant, "Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum," and she would sing this chant. And every time she would sing the chant, the beans would move. So one day a monk comes by and hears her doing it, and she's saying the chant wrong by, like, one syllable. And the monk comes by and says to her, "Hey, you're saying that wrong. It's actually this." And she goes, "Oh, thank you so much." And she did it correctly, and the beans didn't move anymore. That was one of, like, my first lessons also. And the point he was trying to say is that it's not the external process that makes things work. It's the belief in the system and the control of the system that makes it work. And if somebody puts doubt into the subconscious program, it changes how the machinery works. So that's the problem. But I wouldn't worry about like, oh, my third eye and like my pranayama and the kundalinis, and I have to put my butthole into my tongue to make sure the circuit does the thing. It's like, stop it. You read the Heart Sutra, it says, I have no tongue, I have no heart, I have no mind, I have nothing. Everything is calm, everything's emptiness. Why am I worried about my fucking kundalini butthole lining the chakras if everything is emptiness? Like, did you bother reading the Heart Sutra? Like, you talk about it, did you bother reading it? Like, if everything is nothing, there is no thing. If all is one and one is none, what is I? Like, what the fuck am I worrying about the fucking thing for? I do Mahayama Buddha this, and I'm a Tibet this, and I'm a that, and like fucking 500 million of you are gonna fucking die with nothing anyway. Obviously something's wrong. You're so busy in the robe and the thing and showing off how smart you are and how much your Buddhism is so much better than the next guy's Buddhism, and you know your Christianity is so much better than the next guy's Christianity, and you all fucking suck at it. Because you're so busy competing about doing the thing that you didn't actually do the fucking thing. Just do the thing. Is that making sense, what I'm saying? Or did I go over everybody's head? I hope that made sense. I'm not just going over everybody's head ranting some fortune cookie bullshit. Yes, it's the intention and the belief that matters. You have the intention that matters and the belief that matters. You have to know it exists and believe it exists. Like, for instance, the Fa Jing, Jing Lu, you know, and fucking Baba Booey. If you don't believe it exists, he's not gonna, you know? And that's the thing, like, even karate now, like, the karate people see now, you have no fucking idea how many levels above they used to be. You know, like, Tai Chi, like, how many levels above what we're seeing they used to be. Like, but if everyone is convinced it doesn't exist and it can't be done, it's like putting a name on God. You've now confined the idea to a box. The Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. You have to look at the Tao and see the Tao for the Tao is the thing. It's just the thing. And even that makes the thing smaller than the thing. It's hard to explain to people in like three-dimensional language when you see the thing and you live the thing. But you have to just, it is the thing and it's not the thing. It's very hard to express to somebody what the thing that's not the thing is the thing. How do you teach it to somebody without looking like a fucking insane person? You know? It's an autistic level of thinking. It's like so outside reality they can't handle it. So they'll call you crazy and say you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. And then you'll do the thing in front of them like, ah! But, you know, but the most important thing I explained to you is this. Don't learn these things so you can have superpowers and just be like, I'm better than people. No. I won't say that. Because it's probably fucking satanic and like Satan's asshole. Fucking like a fucking baseball bat. I'm not gonna say that. How about you say Kulva? What's that say? I can't even see what it fucking says. Somebody look it up on Google. Make sure he's not telling us some kind of perverted fucking pedo thing. Some fucking chomo shit. Man? I can say man for you. That's English. I speak English. No. First of all, you don't come in not introducing yourself and then ask for a request. Who the fuck are you? That's number one. Who are you? Number two, you didn't say please. I don't like your intention or your attitude. You don't pay my rent. You're not feeding me. I don't know what the fuck that means. Guy's probably summoning a Babylonian demon or something. No, thank you. Kashiyakim. I don't even know. I'm not sure if that's a Hindu name, a Indian name, or a Muslim name. What the hell kind of name is that? Where are you from? Kim? Where are you from? You Turkish? I don't know what kind of name that is. Where do these random people come from? And they ask, they just pop in the channel and say some random shit. What does it even mean, bro? I'm here giving you the fucking secrets of the universe, and you come in and say some random shit without even introducing yourself. You say, hi, my name is Kashmir Makamakim. I'm from fucking, Kyrgyzstan. My sister, she was #3 prostitute in all of Kyrgyzstan. Like, you don't even say that. You just come in, say this. Like, what the fuck? You don't have any manners. This is why I keep the ninja secrets to myself. I showed a little bit, and look at all the stuff I showed. What happened? These psychotic, narcissistic assholes, Satan worshiping, fucking self-serving cocksuckers steal all this stuff. Go around and mislead everybody. I'm not going to teach all the ninja stuff for free anymore. It's not worth it. You go suffer like I suffered and learn, remember all the fucking ninja secrets. I dare you to try. Have fun. There's the freight train. I don't know if you can hear the freight train. The freight train is there. Any other questions other than for me to recite some Babylonian demon prayer? I don't even know what he said. Just say it. Still didn't explain to you what it is. How about if you ask, how about this? Do you like dragons? Kashmir or Hakim, do you like dragons? Is he still here? Or you just come in and ask me to see some random shit and leave, but I just lose off. Alright. Did you have any other good questions or anything you want to talk about before I head out? Keep me entertained online, otherwise I'm going to go back to my stretching and preparing for my nightly thing so that I can fucking train more tomorrow. I decided I had to fucking open my mouth and said I'm going to get back in shape, but I don't want to. Thanks, Dan. But yeah, practice that thing I showed you, and see how it looks and see what you get from it. And you'll notice it's a thing. And you weren't freaking out. You saw something pulse. Okay, I can do it again if you want. Where's the camera angle? Just to prove that's a thing. But how do you get the halo? What if you already had one and you just didn't know it? What if it's not about getting one? What if it's about cleaning it off? It's not about getting one, it's about getting all the shit that's covering it off of you. See, everyone's been taught backwards on purpose. That's why I say, even, the things that run this world, they invert everything and they block everything. Buddhism taught backwards on purpose, you know. I'm just a local retard, you know, autistic person, so like, don't listen to me. But if like my Rain Man pattern recognition would tell you anything, is that, you know, everything's backwards on purpose and repressed. So it isn't a path you have to get to. You have to fucking just take the shit that's been covering you off of you. And it's just there. It's like, where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? I can't find my glasses. Oh, I'm gonna go practice Buddhism and sit in a retreat for 10 years. Where are my glasses? Where's my halo? Where my glasses are? This is why they say the enlightenment's at the sign of a bell. You ring a bell and you say, oh, I'm enlightened. Like, and you learn a trick. Once you learn the Fajin trick, you know, oh, I got it. It's like years of practice for a moment where it's like, oh, that's the thing. I gotta do all these things to find out the thing. It's like, oh, it's right here. It's right here. It's been here the whole fucking time. And, you know, that's the answer. You're not going to like the answer, you know, because it's a fortune cookie backwards nonsense, but that's the true answer. It's not something you get, it's something you uncover. It's been covered in fucking garbage and shit, and eating poison and listening to idiots and trying to prove yourself to fucking retards, you know, and Agent Smiths. Like, none of that matters. Everyone's going to die. None of this matters. You know? It's like, the thing is the thing, and it's right in front of you the whole fucking time. You keep looking for it, you're not going to find it. Stop looking for it. The thing's there. It's already there. They don't get it. You know? And then the more they try to get the thing, the farther away the thing becomes. And they're going to tell you what the Fajin is. You want to like actually push somebody with the Fajin and just lose, whatever you want to call it. As soon as you try to get the effect, you put the effect away from you. You have to be in the feeling of the effect, not the outcome. As soon as you try to get the outcome, you put the outcome away from you and you can't do it. That's the fucking crazy trap of this matrix. You try to do the thing, you can't touch the thing. You have to be the thing and just feel the thing that's being the thing at the moment. As soon as you try to get the thing, you now put the thing outside of the time space that you're in. And you're actually not in time with the thing you're trying to be the thing. That's the funniest part about it. That's why you have to do meditation so much. It's not because of meditation, it's because it actually just gets the mind to stop trying to do the thing and just be at the spot where the thing is happening. That's all it is. You don't have to do 50 years of meditation, you can figure that out. It's, you know, it's the sound of the bell. It's like if you see that the thing is here in the thing, and you don't look for the thing, then the thing just manifests because the thing is there already. It already happened. That's the hardest part of the things. That's the mind fuck. And that goes way over people's heads. You know, it goes way over people's heads. I always tell people when you play push hands, and this is why competition push hands is so bad for like real Taiji, like the understanding of real Taiji training. Competition push hands is horrible. Because when you go to a competition, you're trying to win. You will never get to the final levels. You'll always be stuck. What is expert level is actually intermediate. You'll never get to the secret stuff. Because once you're trying to get an outcome goal, OODA loop. It's just science, okay? It's OODA loop. Because you're trying to get the effect and win, you're never actually in the moment of time space. Like you'll go into bullet time for some moments and you'll win on accident here and there, but you'll never be the thing because you're always trying to be the thing. So that's why I tell people, never try to win. Allow the person to show you where they want to lose and follow them to their loss. And that it's a mind fuck when you understand that. That's where the beginning levels of like the expert secret shit happen. And it's a mind fuck. You know, just like, oh, it doesn't, yeah. They won't get it. That's why I'm not even afraid, you know, because like, they'll never get it. They're too stuck in their ways, they're too arrogant, they're too stupid. They're never gonna understand. I don't want to win. I'm just gonna follow you and ask you where you want to lose, and then I'll follow you there. You don't try to get the halo. You're just like, oh, there's a halo there. Oh, I guess I'll just let it sit there. Let it hang out. Well, that's my fortune cookies for the day. I hope that was beneficial. But like all the good stuff is always taught in parables and riddles, because if the reader doesn't understand, it's not meant for them. Like they have to be ready for it, and they have to have the thing that isn't the thing. It's like an anagram. If you can't unscramble the words, go fuck yourself. And this is the Chinese guys has told me in Chinatown. It's like, we'll show you once, and if you get it, good. If not, too bad. It's just how it is. So, but the secret to learning from the old Chinese masters who teach like that is to not try to get it. It's to literally be at the moment watching the thing and get the impression of the thing at the moment and remember the feeling of the thing that they're trying to give the impression of. If you try to do the thing, you'll never get it. It's so bizarre. There is no doing the thing. It's like the thing is. It's like it is. And I have no language in English to explain to you this concept. That as soon as you try, because trying so constantly is failure. But once you put yourself in a future goal to get the effect, the entire system of your body works backwards. It literally goes backwards. There is no thing to do. You have to be there. And you become a memory of the feeling, like a reflection of the feeling. And you try to do the thing, it doesn't happen. And that's the hardest thing to put into English language. Like, it's the hardest thing. And even the masters do the fancy Kongjin and Jinlu and all the fancy words they use. The masters who can do the effect, they have to try. But those masters who are the effect, and they're like it looks like complete bullshit. That's the secret. Right, because anybody who can do the thing, it's hard to put into language. But when you get to this state, because it's subjective to them, because it's their experience and the lexicon, the words that they're programmed with in their childhood and their culture, they can only transfer that in the language they have. But if you really pay attention behind the language, what they're trying to say, it's all the same. Anybody who gets the effect consistently all has a similar experience. And in science, in Western science, it's dealing with OODA loop, right? Observe, orient, decide, act. So it's like we're fighting, and I see you throw a punch, and in every 10th of a second, we have this 4-step process. It's a little less than 10th of a second, whatever, for trying to fight. But the point is, you're throwing a punch, I orient, I observe what's going on. Oh, I see a punch coming, and I orient myself in X, Y, Z coordinates in time space. And then I go into my past reference banks and say, compare this thing happening in X, Y, Z, Q's, Apple, Z fucking time space thing. What memories do I have that correlate to this event that I can use to get a future outcome? And then I decide from variables of this to make an action. This happens, all these 4 steps happen in less than a 10th of a second. Like 1 trillion computations going on. And then it comes from your subconscious and subconscious into the first one's account, and then it comes out. When you actively get in the way of the OODA loop, it's like doubling the loop. And your action phase, like in the good high level of karate, the way I learned it, we want to cut the OODA loop in half. So that observe and orient, deciding, and acting are it's 2 beats instead of 4 beats. So my observation orientation phase, like Goodwin Chun, same thing. Like your Ting Jing and all that stuff, you're trying to get observation orientation to happen in one beat and decision and action to happen on the second beat. Because the programs are taking two beats. When you put your ego conscious mind, the frontal lobe versus the amygdala and the cerebellum, each part of the brain moves slower. Like this is slower than this one, this is fast, this is fastest. So you have to get behind the cerebellum. So twitch responses. If you're in the forebrain, where you're trying to like logically deal with stuff, that OODA loop is slower and sometimes multiplied by 2 to 10. So you're not actually in the thing. And then muscles start working backwards and all this weird shit starts to happen. So like the highest level masters, you're so far removed from the frontal lobe that you're in the reptilian part of your brain observing. And it all comes down to how well did you program the geometry of the move and the anchored responses, so it gets into the cerebellum, to the twitch responses, like involuntary twitches. Because most trained fighters are trained the amygdala, where it's like the middle brain, and it's like, but the highest level of the old masters, like, the legends, these programs are in the cerebellum, like the back of your brain, they're in your reptilian brain. So like you've actually put the kung fu into your unconscious twitches. Like you're like blinking and breathing and like weird shivers. And it's such a higher level process. And that's the goal. So if you're trying to get an effect, the more you try, the more in the forward of your brain it is. And you have to get all the way into your fucking sacrum. You have to come out of your mind and get into your ass. Put your head up your ass. So it's like literally in your spine, in the cerebral spinal fluid, into your guts. It sounds bizarre, but that's the thing. And to do that, you have to kill yourself and kill your ego. But you're not actually killing your ego. You shouldn't kill anything. What you're doing is letting the ego chill the fuck out and take a nap. You're not killing it. You're just like separating yourself from it and saying, hey, dude, we don't need you right now. Have a shot of whiskey. Take a fucking break. Like all the good Chinese masters were all drunk and smoked and all this stuff. Like Chen Man-ching used to drink all the time. I think all the stories from the old guys I used to talk to, he was a drunk with broken shoulders. But why all the masters like do meditation or they drink or they fucking something like the young guys were all drug addicts. That's just something that people don't talk about. Because they're all trying to find that state and then they wind up using all these, they go to the left-hand path too far. That's what happens. But it's all because you feel the separation of the OODA loop and the subconscious and the superconscious, and your observer mind separates. Like, it's very difficult to interact with your body and humans like a normal person anymore. That's why all of the people who like train, like I train, the super master legend people, they all go into seclusion. There's a point where you literally want to get away from society and people because your brain works so differently. It's hard to deal with people who don't think like you. But anyway, bringing that back down to the Kung Fu thing, as soon as you try to do something, you're thinking in the front of your brain. The front of your brain is slow as shit. The OODA loop is 4 steps. You can make it 4 times 10 sometimes, the more you try. And in that trying, all the nervous system twitches and all the stuff that should be automated are no longer automated, and you fuck everything up. So the science behind not trying is get into the amygdala, get into the cerebellum. That's the science behind it. Okay? And you can quote me on that and let the fucking Reddit fucking people and the fucking rumsilk fucking jerk-offs and the fucking 5G cocksuckers, 5G project douchebags, let them argue with me. And they have a fucking problem, I'll tell them to shut the fuck up in their face. Because I don't like any of those people anymore. I hope they answered the question. That's the best way I can describe it. It's very hard to put the shit into words. But that's the reason why so many people had so much trouble with me in New York, because I hacked everything. I literally sat there for fucking years trying to hack the fucking matrix and figure out how do I shave off 1 more second? How do I do this little fucking, how do I counter this thing, like a fucking maniac. All right, I think I've given you enough of the Ninja Secret fortune cookie bullshit that nobody wants to hear, so. I'm hoping this tooth breaks clean. Because don't have the inclination or the money to go fucking have any more surgeries done. So I'm hoping it just breaks and I can just stuff it with cotton and fucking leave it for a while. This fucking sucks. Alright, anything else from you guys? Otherwise I'm gonna go take a piss and do some fucking kung fu stretching, play some death metal drums, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. Alright, I think that's it. I think I've gone over your heads. In your human tongue, I say I love you. I'm grateful for your presence. Practice your gratitude. I will see you guys next time. I'll be around a little more often until I start the seminar stuff, and then I'm going to disappear again. Excuse me. Okay. Love you guys. See you soon.